Hi, everyone. Have you invested in your IRAH as of late? Well, stick around and we're going to find out more about what that is. And I want to say that I'm Teresa Lisum, and I'm coming to you with my amazing guest co-host, Jalaine Poirier. Poirier, oh man, I wanted to do it really smooth and I stumbled. Anyway, we're involved evolving women. I'm evolving, you're evolving, we're all evolving, and we're on this journey of evolution together. So, to help us all with the journey, we're here together to share uplifting messages, offer new perspectives, maybe new tools that you can try out, new resources, some wellness ideas, some mindset shifts. We might plant some new seeds in your head, but we're all here to evolve faster. And we're also here to give you permission to be your best self. So, welcome. We're so glad you're here. And Jalaine, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so sorry I stumbled over your last name. I even have it pronounced out properly and I still blew it. I am so sorry. But please share with us what an IRAH is, because we all know what an IRA is.
Yes, so an IRAH, you can invest in this at any age. You can do it when you're young, or you can do it when you're older, or if you miss that and you're really old, you can still invest in it. So it doesn't matter where you are, but it's your individual retirement account for health. And that is
Mm,
all about how are you investing in your health? Okay. So one of
hmm
my mottos is, do you want to live long and die short? Or do you want to live short and die long? So that's
mm,
an option that you have the
wow.
choice and somewhat of a control to what you want to do. So, you
hmm
can definitely live short and enjoy everything. Just gobble up everything you want, live life on its, just, like daring everything that you do and just eating all the food that you want. Just do whatever you want, but you could
hmm
possibly end up finding yourself dying, very long. So I try to teach people the skills and not pills form of that. And so I love to teach people how to invest in your IRAH so that you can be around to enjoy your IRA. Because some people, they get into retirement, and the next thing you know, somebody else is enjoying their IRA because
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
passed away shortly after. But, do
hmm
you want to be able to really enjoy all that money that you put aside, no matter what age you started at? Some people
Yeah.
are lucky enough, they start young, their parents started at a very young age, and they've got a very large IRA. So wouldn't you like to live large when you get to that point and be healthy to do so, you know?
Yeah, I love that. And it doesn't matter what age you start. Don't think you're too old at age 70 or 60 or whatever number you happen to pick. It doesn't matter. You can make some changes at any point in your life. And I'm so glad you're bringing this up because from my understanding, a large percentage of health issues nowadays, at least in our society, is all based on lifestyle. And so it's like 80-90%. I mean, I hear different percentages, but it is huge. So the choices you make determine what you're investing in that IRAH.
True.
So I love that you're offering this concept to people so they could be around and enjoy that financial investment that they've created for themselves. And I also love that skills first, then pills. That is such a cool phrase. I love that because we have been trained to immediately go get a prescription, go to the drugstore, get an over the counter, whatever, and then take that to address whatever symptom has cropped up instead of addressing the root cause, the underlying issue that's happening there. And I mean, that hasn't been happening for too long. I think like our modern medical model has only been going on for like 100 years or something, some really short period of time. So what they do before that? They had the skills
Mm.
they needed to be able to address whatever came up.
Exactly. I don't know how many of you remember your grandmother, say, for example, you had a chest cold and she gave you a little nylon stocking with some garlic in it and told you to put it on your chest. Or I'm sure that a lot of you could share with us all the things that your grandmother did to you way back when. And it worked, right? It really did work. You didn't have to go to the doctor. You just go find your grandmother. She'll tell you something, whether you liked it or not, you know.
Really, really. And now now we almost think that is trite, or oh, that couldn't really have worked, or something that simple could not have that much of an impact on our health. And we come up with all these reasons that it's, I mean, yes, sometimes it is easier just to go take a pill. That is the easy solution, but it's a short-term solution. It might not necessarily be the long term. And whatever's happening that you're trying to address is still happening underneath inside your body.
Yes, it doesn't address the core because
Correct.
most of our core illnesses start out with inflammation.
Hmm.
So, we're not addressing that inflammation and how is it coming about? And, and then it forms into autoimmune diseases. And then we form into, we go way out and now we have, like the cancers, the diabetes, but all of these things, their core bottom line is inflammation because our body
Hmm.
will start, I mean, okay, so you cut yourself and you get inflammation, that's going to help you to heal, but it's a proper inflammation. But we are feeding our bodies things that are causing improper inflammations in our
Hmm.
bodies, which are creating a lot of the things that we're facing today.
Yeah. So some inflammation is good for
Yes,
specific reasons,
it's a natural
but
thing.
then once it's done addressing that issue, then it minimizes or goes away. Whereas we seem to be in a chronic state of inflammation of varying degrees, depending on each person, of course.
Mhm. Yep, and sometimes we don't even realize that we have that inflammation, underneath,
Yeah.
underlying,
Hmm.
so and then all of a sudden it explodes, so it does cause, so another thing too that people don't realize that inflammation is one of the causes of Alzheimer's, heart disease, obesity,
Mm.
cancer, immune diseases, diabetes. I
Mm.
mean, those are all at the bottom line. So if we're just taking a pill, we're not addressing the root cause. So I
Hmm.
try to help people with addressing the root cause and the skills to be able to try to change that. Now, like I said, I do skills and pills. I'm not saying that I don't believe that,
Hmm.
the medical profession, the doctors don't have their place because they do.
Right.
We
No,
need
they
we need
certainly
them.
do.
We definitely
Yes.
need them and we
Yes.
definitely need their expertise and we need their things, but we also need to be able to have our own skills so that we
Hmm.
can understand what can we do to, thwart some of these things before we get there.
Right. And I think that sense of our own personal power is important instead of immediately calling a doctor or, going to the drugstore or whatever. We're kind of, I see it as giving our power away to somebody outside of us. Whereas
Mhm,
if we learn the skills and have the knowledge that you could teach somebody and we could just address it ourselves fairly quickly or in a consistent way over the long term. And then when we do need a medical professional, we can go to one, but I think we've kind of lost our way. We go right to the medical profession immediately instead of learning, listening to our body, figuring out what we could do ourselves.
mhm, mhm. Or even some of us have come so far from even the knowledge of knowing, and so I try to bring that back, to being able to help people to figure out, let's get the knowledge back to be able, I mean, we ultimately started in the garden, right? And so,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whole foods are the answer, and we need to I think a lot of people have lost the art and the science of using whole foods for healing,
Hmm. Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And then of course, your skills. So, like I teach people to move smart and to sleep smart, to eat smart, think smart, and share smart. And share smart would be like, giving yourself that center, being able to have that time to be able to have your own. How many of us get so stressed out? We're running all day, all day, all day. We keep on running.
Hmm.
We never stop. We never,
Yep.
we don't
Yep.
breathe. anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't stop to take care of ourselves anymore. We don't have those quiet moments. Those
Mm-hmm.
are important that we add them into our daily lives. And there's just so many things that we need to consider and take the time.
Yeah, and I think more people are becoming aware of that and
Mhm.
are trying to really embed that self-care into their schedule. At least
Mhm.
that's kind of what I'm seeing around people that I know, even if it's randomly and not as regularly as me and you would like to see them. They're at least aware of it. They know it needs to be done, and occasionally they'll take do some self-care. But
Mhm.
as you said, like just breathing is
Yep.
as easy self-care. Taking a step outside and, mindfully observing and listening and that in and of itself is a moment or a couple moments of self-care that can be really impactful in the course of somebody's day.
And not take that long. I mean, I could share with you
Hmm.
in a few minutes something that you might want to try. I mean, would everybody like to try
Sure,
a moment? So
please.
this is kind of different. All right. It's called alternate nasal breath. Okay. So this is
Okay.
probably something I'm not sure that anybody's done or not. So you want to take your pointer finger and put it right in
Okay.
the center between
Mm-hmm.
right here and kind of rub, and you'll feel that point where you just feel like it's just closing your eyes and you just kind of feel like a center point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
you're going to take your thumb and you're going to put it on one nostril and
Mm-hmm.
your index finger, or I mean your other finger, and put it here. So your pinky. I'm sorry. I got it. So
Okay. So one of your other fingers go on
pinky.
the other
No, so we're
nostrils.
gonna go, pinky and thumb, and
Okay.
then your pointer finger here. Okay.
Okay.
So then you're gonna squeeze them. Well, first of all, before we do that, let's just clear everything. All right. So let's just sit straight in our chair and back up. I just wanted to give you the initial beginnings of what you're gonna do, and just sit straight and just kind of like center and focus and breathe in and just breathe out and just feel yourself breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4 out. Okay, now we're going to do what I just explained. Okay,
Okay.
this pointer finger, your pinky
Mm-hmm.
finger, and your thumb. All right,
Okay.
now what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your nose together. And when you do that, you're going to lift up your pinky finger and you're going to inhale. Okay, so inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, shut that and open up your thumb and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, inhale, same thing. Don't put your thumb back down. Inhale through that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, close and exhale through the pinky side. Down you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, pinky side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the pinky side. All right, exhale, thumb side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, thumb side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and close, and then just let everything go. And then take your hands and bring them out to your sides. And then just inhale, like all the way up. This big inhale. All right, and then we're going to bring our hands together. And then we're going to exhale, bringing our hands right down to center. There you go.
Mm.
Hopefully that's centered you a little bit. Try it, practice it, and I think that you'll find that it actually your nasals and your you should be able to smell or breathe better. It will just that makes you be able to use your nose and your nasal passages much better and bring relaxation.
Thank you so much. And you explained that really well because I've seen other people try to explain that. And it's a
Yeah,
little clunky when you're not physically with a person. But
yeah,
I mean, the idea is to open up one nostril
yep,
while the other one's closed, then
yep,
exhale, and then switch nostrils. Inhale, exhale. So you're using one nostril to do one inhale, one exhale, and
yeah.
then switch. So that's the basic idea
And
behind
you're
it.
keeping yourself centered with your pointer because
Yeah, I love that. I've never
that's
really
keeping
seen
you
that.
centered and connected while
Hmm.
you're doing it because you're just keeping your central point between the two while you're using your thumb and your pinky.
Yeah, I love that. It's so easy. It doesn't take that long. It's free. You can do it yourself anytime. And I've noticed sometimes when I'm doing some either that one or other breathing techniques, I almost get like a lightheaded buzz a little bit.
Hmm.
Maybe
Hmm.
I'm not used to bringing in that amount of oxygen, or I don't know what it is, but it's really kind of cool the natural buzz I can get from just breathing.
Yeah, because we don't breathe. So there's several other breathing exercises, of course, as you well know. Some of them
Hmm.
might you put your hand over by your belly button, and you feel yourself deep breathing in real deep, and then
Hmm.
you breathe out and you push it out like your pregnant belly. But when you do that, we don't deep breathe that
Yeah,
way.
we
We
don't.
do these short,
We don't.
stressful little breaths, and
Yeah.
so the deep breathing, it actually brings more oxygen to your brain. That's why you're getting that, as you're
Hmm.
oxygenating your brain and your cells and everything. We need to take that time so that we can think smart and
I
be
love
smart.
that. I love that. Think smart. And again, you can initiate that just with some breathing activities. And if you don't like this one, there's lots more out
There
there
are.
that anybody viewing this can check out. Or just mindfully on your own, paying attention to your breath.
Mhm.
And like you said, do those belly breaths, not from up here in the chest. Such simple skill that, again, we don't have to go outside of ourselves to do. So that was the Think Smart. Can you give us something about Move Smart or Sleep Smart or your other four that the smarts?
So there's what some of the things are with your Move Smart. So there's several with different ways of moving smart. So you would have some people would do yoga and Pilates, right? I don't
Hmm.
know people like that. Or they do rhythmic. Some people do dancing, you do the
Hmm.
rhythmic, right? Or you do the strength building, aerobics, isometrics. Isometrics are,
Hmm.
where you can sit in your chair and just take your hands here and you push up on the hand that's on the outside, and then you let it go and push up on the outside, and then you change sides. And so, or if you're standing in line, right, and you can just get up on your heels and get down
Hmm.
as you're standing there in line and staying calm instead of getting angry that there's this big long line. Just do those and kind of squeeze in and out and step up. So those are some isometric moves that you can do. You can do them anywhere. So movement,
Hmm.
and then what I really like to do is walking. So walking
Oh
is
yeah.
great movement. And it gives you so much, to your health for just
Yeah,
walking. So,
that's my thing. So
mhm,
women wanna pick something that they enjoy, that they're
exactly.
gonna be able to do conveniently, and it's gonna benefit them. I mean, you don't want to do something that you're grudgingly gonna do because you know you're never gonna do
Won't
it.
do
So
it.
find something that you enjoy and then figure out a way to do it every single day. Um, Even if you pick a couple things to do in little couple minutes segments throughout your day.
Absolutely.
I love that. So sleep smart. Of course, we all know the benefits of sleep. Do we
Yes.
all get enough sleep and a good quality sleep? No, but we all have some intellectual idea that it's good for us.
Yeah, and it really should be a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of sleep because your brain and your body, it starts to rejuvenate through the night and it's
Hmm.
rebuilding itself through the night. We need to give that body a proper rest so that while we're draining from it all day long, that we're actually rejuvenating it, through the night. We need to give that time to our body. A lot of us don't do that because we
Yeah.
have projects we want to get done. We
Yes.
force
Yeah.
ourselves into staying up exhausted and
Hmm.
tired, and
Hmm.
it's not a good thing.
Yeah, I know. I think and this was really just recently, I'm going to admit, when I understood or learned that, like you said, your body needs to reset, rejuvenate, detox. Like there's all these things going on in that resting state, and you need to give your body time to do that, to repair itself, and just knowing that intellectually kind of motivated me to make sure I'm really getting some quality sleep.
And I use just for FYI, I have a Amazon mask that I found mask. I said not just make sure mask that I found
Mm-hmm.
that I put on my eyes because then it just darks out everything. And
Mm-hmm.
that gives me a more solid and secure sleep as well too. So I know I never in my whole life I was like, well, I'm not going to wear a sleep mask, but you know what? I found one that really does work. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. Some of them just really don't work. Some of them do, but this one you open your eyes and you don't see any light and it's really
Mm-hmm.
nice and comfortable. And so find a sleep mask that will help if you really want to do that. I find that I have darkening curtains in my room and I have a sleep
Mm-hmm.
mask. So
And
that brings you into a more, and do not have your screen on an hour before you go to bed.
oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, man. Oh, yeah. And I bet there's hardly anybody that does that.
I
I
know.
mean, I think our habit nowadays is to have that TV on. And I'm going to admit to that. At the end of the day, it just kind of helps me relax. I try not to do anything else, but just kind of mindlessly watch something. So to me, that's a mindless activity. If I'm
Mhm.
watching the right thing, that's not, doesn't take a lot of my thought processes. But yeah, just the screen itself, the
Mhm.
physical screens
Yep.
are the problem. And like I said,
Yep.
I know that's so hard nowadays,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, the blue lights and all that
Yeah.
stuff. They do say that if you are gonna do that at night, they have the blue light glasses that kind of block them, for if you're at night time, you just want to maybe wear those blue light blockers,
Oh, that's an idea.
if you really must do that,
Hmm.
I mean, if you can't seem to change it. I mean, there's nothing here that I say that, it's like, oh, you have to do this. So
Yeah.
I believe in one simple change, and if that's what you can do, then make that one simple change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
then
love
when you
that.
make that one, then you'll work on another one. We're not
Right.
talking, oh goodness, you got to dive in both feet and everything has to change,
Right.
because none of us are going to do it and none of us are going to keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I call that baby steps. Take
Yes.
one baby step,
Hmm.
make it or allow it to become part of your routine so you don't even have to think about it anymore. And then bring in another little baby step or a little habit that can change the trajectory of your health and your wellness journey. So it doesn't take a lot, but you do want to do something in a positive direction.
Exactly. Yes.
Um, and it does take some experimentation. Like you said, you found a mask.
Hmm.
I promote the use of essential oils. Some people like to listen to something, as they fall asleep. I'm a big reader at night. So, we all have to kind of find our own
Exactly.
sleep routine. And so be prepared for some experimentation and certainly reach out to, someone like you or me that could offer some suggestions around that.
Mhm.
So I am going to ask you about your sharing smart. What does that mean?
Well, sharing smart, of course, would be, that's where you start with your sharing smart with yourself and keeping yourself, where you're centered. And so you're actually taking care of your body and sharing smart to your body. Because if you're not taking care of your own body, right, you can't be helping anybody else. Or, because I mean, you really have to take care of your own body to be able to take care of anybody else or be able to help anybody else or to be really proficient or effective. So sharing smart would be once you're doing what you should be doing, then you're sharing that with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like somebody's seeing, hey, she's really successful in that. So, but sharing smart starts with you first.
Okay, so that to me sounds like that's the self-care piece.
It is.
Take the time for yourself. You're leading by example
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes.
you can share with other people what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have kids in the house, you're sharing what you're doing, your good habits by example. And it could be, in my thoughts, it could be setting boundaries. That could be part of that sharing smart.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I always share smart is that you have to be able to share a smile. Let me get him right. There he is. So I tell everybody, so I always teach everybody, you have to smile and then you have to
Mm-hmm.
share that smile with somebody else because when you share,
Yeah.
when you smile, it's good for your health. But when you
Yeah.
share that smile, it's good for somebody else's health. So that's another share smart tip for today.
Thank you. I love that. And if you could share laughter, that's really awesome. I'm all into sharing laughter.
Exactly.
That's a big um, underused technique as well,
Hmm.
is smiling, laughing. It, again,
Yes.
free, easy, shareable, and is going to help your IRAH. Got it right.
She's got it.
So yeah, thanks for going over this. Those I love all of those. Those are all fabulous, easy suggestions to
Hmm.
remember. Um, so I did want to just, I'm kind of watching the time. Sadly, we're running out of time. We might have to have a second conversation here because there's so much to talk about. But if you can give us one way of decreasing inflammation, we started with inflammation is the basis of all diseases. We're all dealing with inflammation in varying degrees. If you
Hmm.
could share one suggestion as to a quick, easy way of making that start for ourselves.
So I probably will run with two of them because one of them is that I really would like to see you do an oil change in your body because all the oils that we're eating are causing inflammation within our body. So like, you get oils that are not good for you and there's a list of them. And, if anybody wants to reach out, I can give you all the list of the oils that you have that are really not good because your oils, so you have diets that are going to be rich in your omega-3 fats, and those are going to promote your immune balance, decrease your inflammation. So remember, omega-3s, right? Decrease your inflammation, suppress tumor growth, decrease blood sickness, improve brain function, decrease depression. All right. And they definitely promote immune system. So those are your omega-3s. All right. Now, with that being said, everybody's like, oh, omega-3s. I have to go get the fish oil to get my
That's
omega-3.
what I was
Okay.
thinking.
You do not have to get fish oil to get your omega-3s because, for one, this is the big aha moment. Fish do not create omega-3s. Okay? They get omega-3s or their omegas from the algae that's in the ocean. They eat the
Mhm.
omega and then we kill the fish to get what they just ate.
I gotcha.
So I can show you how you can go directly to the source and get your omega-3s from a more
Mm.
natural source. So if you want to know more about that, reach out and I will show you how to do that. But we do not need fish because for one, we are unnecessarily killing fish to
Mhm.
get something that they do not create. Okay.
That's
They do
oh.
not create omega-3s. That is a fallacy. There's a lot of
Mm.
fallacies. So that's a
Mhm.
little simple thing for you to think about, research. There are a plethora of other ways to get your omega-3s other than fish that don't create it, that you're unnecessarily killing those fish
That
for
well,
that omega-3.
I never thought about that. So one quick way of decreasing inflammation is increasing omega-3s,
Yes.
but not necessarily by eating fish.
Right, exactly. Well, no, no, man. Now eat it. You can eat fish, okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not go buy the omega-3 oils
Oh,
that
oh,
they're getting
that's
from
right.
market.
Don't buy
Yes.
the.
So I do recommend eating fish. I'm a fish eater. I'm what you would call a pescatarian. Um, so I do eat fish, but I'm not taking fish oils. There's a lot of problems sometimes with fish oils. Some of them are rancid. Companies don't produce
Yeah.
them right. There's a lot of things. And we want to decrease our omega-6s, okay? So omega-6s will promote your immune imbalance, increase inflammation, increase tumor growth, increase blood stickiness, and it will depress your brain functions and increase depression. So we have to
Wow.
find that balance between what and some of that is in the oils that you're cooking with. Okay.
Mm.
So that's another whole study too, is like, so oils are so important, whatever we're using and what we're not using. And then there's one big factor that I would recommend to everybody is increase your water intake. So I
Yes.
have this bottle of water that I utilize, as you can see, and it keeps me on track. And I'm a little off track today because, but if you see, I started and it says hydrate, and then it says keep
Oh.
changing and then feeling great. And so every day I drink that. But with that being said, you would want at the night, I take and replace my electrolytes I make myself a smoothie, an icy smoothie, and I replace my electrolytes every night that I wash those up.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
you could deplete your body. If you drink too much water, you could deplete your body of electrolytes and find yourself in a little bit of trouble with that. So
Wow.
you don't want to drink so much water that you're not, that you're wiping out your electrolytes. So
Mm.
everything we do has a balance, right? We have to be
Mm.
balanced, centered, balanced, everything.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard that. Wiping out your electrolytes and drinking those right before bedtime. So,
Yeah, I do. I drink. So I will make a suggestion. So there's the one of the purest forms of electrolytes. I don't sell them, of course, so it's just a commercial for the company. But Ultima, if you go look up for it online, it's one of the purest forms of the electrolytes that you'll find and it comes, you can even make mocktails. They have mocktails that you can make, with them. So you can make pina colada, you can make all sorts of things and they're excellent. But what I do is I take my little ninja, I put ice in it, and then I take my flavor of the night and I just mix it together, and it's my icy drink for the night before I go to bed. So it's
love
just
that.
what I do. Replace
So,
my electrolytes after I drink a gallon every day, and but I not without replacing my electrolytes. I do not recommend you. I recommend that you also, remember
mm,
about replacing your electrolytes.
oh, that is great to know. Yeah, and I like that bottle with all the measurements on there.
You can
So
get
you
those on
could
Amazon.
see. Oh, yeah, that is really cool. I love that. Maybe
Yeah,
we can.
it not only keeps me so sometimes I'll go someplace like nowadays we go through these scanners and we go through these like especially going into the hospital or something like that. I had a this is a funny because I had this person that was they look in your pocketbook and they do it, and he had my water bottle, and then they called me out and he said, I need you to come here. And I thought, uh-oh, he's going to make me dump my water. Make me
Uh-huh.
throw it out. He's going to do something. He was really serious. And
Yeah, they always are.
he looked at me and he pointed to the time frame and he said, you need to get drinking, young lady, because you are behind.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, wow.
And it even makes strangers keep me accountable.
That is so cute. Maybe we'll drop a link for that in the description. But so many things to chat about. I hope you come back, Jalaine, so we can talk more. There's so many more things that you offer people. But if someone wanted to get a hold of you to learn more about everything that you've shared with us and way more, how can they find you?
So you can find me. I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I am on LinkedIn, but not a lot. And then you can find me on my website, which is PoirierHealthyLiving.com. So, but I'm really Facebook Messenger. DM me on Facebook Messenger is probably one of the better ways. I do have an email that you can check me out. Now, I'm not always on there. Sometimes I'm bad, but email is another way. So that would be jkpoirier7@gmail.com. Uh, a
And,
lot of
and
times I would tend to say Facebook Messenger is probably where I hang out most because I do have, I have 3 accounts on Facebook and 3 accounts on Instagram. One is my personal, one is my Poirier Healthy Living. And then of course I'm a pharmacist and we can talk more about a pharmacist and that's an F, not a P.
yeah, definitely need to have more conversations around that. And we will drop your information and any links into the description with this video, this recording, this episode, however you're getting this information. So you'll be able to connect with her by looking in the description. So I did want to make sure everybody was clear on that. And so we're going to wrap this up for today. Thank you so much, Jalaine Poirier. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing so much. You're a wealth of information for sure. And I'm going to invite anyone listening to this to, of course, subscribe to my channel, like, share this episode. If you know of somebody who would benefit from this episode, please share it with them so they can get connected with Jalaine. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Teresa,
I'm going to
for
say
having me
let's watch
here.
for that second episode because I think we got more to talk about.
And thank you so much, Teresa, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. And I'm really love talking with you and being here today. And it's so wonderful speaking with you and all the things that you do as well.
Thank you so much. So appreciate you. Appreciate everybody listening in. And we look forward to the next episode where we'll see you and everybody else. Bye
Bye.
bye.